Hey guys, so today is Monday, April 9th, 2012. So it is Easter Monday for all of you Canadians. And just before this video, I want to congratulate John 3800 for his getting another new string trimmer, which y'all have already seen the video. He just bought a couple weeks ago. He bought a new Stihl model FS250R. I must say that's got to be one nice trimmer with a 40.2cc engine. So yeah. So today, finally got all my parts on Partster.com for the Echo PB400E backpack blower. So I just went ahead and actually replaced one of them, and that is the air filter. So I got a new air filter. I got a carburetor rebuild kit, and a new pump cover for the carburetor, which this one here has got a broken spot on it. Got a brand new one, new fuel filter, and a new spark plug. So for this video, I'm gonna actually do a video on how to rebuild one of these small two-stroke carburetors. So without further ado, we'll get started. Alright, so the first thing we got to do is actually take the carburetor off of the machine. So we need a flathead screwdriver just to take the two screws out. There's one on the top and then another one on the bottom. Okay, the carburetor is pretty much off. So now let's unhook our throttle cable. There we go. Actually, that's up. There we go. Just leave all those aside. Now we'll need to disconnect our impulse line. Actually, I'll just pull this piece off and just pull it right off. Alright, so now we got the carburetor off the machine. Now we'll just start taking it off. We'll go ahead and take this end right here off. This whole piece will just pop right off. And so we're not going to use this pump cover right here since it's no good. So here's the gasket. Here's the pump diaphragm. It doesn't really look too bad. You probably could still reuse it, but it probably, I don't know how good it would probably be, so we'll just toss that. Alright, now we'll take the other side off with it's held on by 4 screws. We'll just get these off by hand. Just pop this cover off if we can. Oh, there we go. So here's the metering diaphragm. Now there was supposed to have been a gasket right here, but I've had this carburetor off before. The gasket was like stuck on there, so I ended up having to break that gasket off. So here's the metering diaphragm. It probably could still be good, but it's a little bit wrinkled. It still feels a little soft though. Probably could still reuse it, but we're not going to. Alright, so now we'll need to take this piece off too, and we'll need a flathead screw to get the metering lever off, the pin, and the needle. Go ahead and get this. Take this screw off. And let me get let me change bits here. Now we'll just take that flat screw. Now we're going to take it completely off. Usually you don't really have to. Alright, so there's the metering lever. This is it right here. So we're not going to reuse this one because the kit comes with a brand new one, as well as the spring and the needle. And as you can probably tell, this needle does look a bit varnished up a little bit. Okay, since we got that screw off, let's try and get that cover off if we can. Oh, there we go. So that cover also consists of with another diaphragm and also the gasket too. Alright, so now we got all this stuff off, and also now we got to take this little screen off, so we'll do that. Alright, so to take these little filter screens off, you just need a little sharp object. So in this case, I'm going to use a safety pin. There we go. Just comes out like that. And there's the screen. Sometimes these screens look good, but sometimes they'll be plugged up with old stale gas. And believe it or not, this whole carburetor is actually fairly clean, believe it or not. I think from what my dad said, whenever the last time he had used this blower, he'd actually ran it completely out of gas. So that's one of the best things that you should do on these. So the only thing I'm not going to really replace is this little thing right here. This right here, that is called a Welcher plug. So I'm not going to replace it. It's not really necessary to replace them, only unless if these things sit outside and if they're corroded with water and stuff. But there are times you cannot get these carburetors cleaned at all, especially if they sit for an extremely long time with gas in them, because these orifices are very small. Alright, so I'm going to take this carburetor outside and I'll just spray it all up with some carburetor cleaner. Alright, so I got the carburetor out here. I'm just going to have this cup, have it over this little glass right here. Alright, now before you start doing this, always important that you wear safety glasses too, because sometimes you don't want the carburetor cleaner kind of spray out and go right into your eyes, and I'm sure that would not feel too good. So what you want to do is just take your carburetor cleaner and just spray all of these little holes right here, just to help clear away all these little orifices. See, just like that. Just as you can see right there, all the carburetor cleaner is spraying right out. That's why you should always wear safety glasses when you're doing something like this. We'll also spray in this hole too. coming out of that other hole too, which that means that this carburetor is clean. We'll spray down right through here from where the fuel line goes. It's coming out through this hole right here. We'll spray through it too. And we'll also spray down in here from where the filter screen is. And we'll give this area here a good soaking too. And also right along here from where the needle is. That actually sprayed, I think I could have got the camera too, and that actually got me right in the face. It's a good thing. That's why you should always wear safety glasses. Let me take my safety glasses off right now just to show y'all. See, now my safety glasses are just wet with carb cleaner. See, that's why I cannot stress enough, you should wear safety glasses when you're doing stuff like this. Alright, so I'm going to let this soak for a little bit, and then we'll start putting all the stuff back together. Oh, one thing I even forgot to mention, like if your machine is set for a very long time, sometimes it never hurts to take the mixture screws off, and you could also spray carb cleaner down through the holes too. But in this case, I've already did that too, and they were actually all clean. This carburetor itself is very clean. Alright, so I'll let this all dry off, and then we'll start to reassemble the carburetor. Oh, and there's one other part I forgot about. This little piece here consists of with another screen on it, so forgot all about it, so we got to take it off. We got to take this little ring off if we can. Oh, there we go. It's starting to come off. There we go. So that's little springs off, and that should just push that screen right out. Yep, there we go. And it comes with a brand new screen right here in the repair kit. So we'll just put that new screen in. And I believe it also comes with another new little clip. So I'll put that on off camera. Alright, so the new screen's in. That's how you want it to go in. Just like that. So now let's start get the carburetor back together. So first thing we're gonna do is put this gasket on so it only goes in one way. Just like that. And then the diaphragm only goes in one way too. Goes in just like that. Now for the cover. And then now we'll just grab our screw. Alright, so we'll just tighten up that screw. And the kit also comes with brand new screws as well, which I thought that's pretty cool. Alright, just get it tight. Don't over tighten these because you can easily strip the threads. Okay, so now we'll grab our new needle and pins and spring. So let me go get it. Alright, so when you put all of this together, so here's the, let me put the camera in macros so y'all can see that a little bit better. Yeah, there you go. So here on the metering lever, this clip here, that's where you put the needle in. And then this little, try to make it so y'all can see that a little bit better. Yeah, this right here, you got to make sure that spring is right on it, just like that. And so let me get all this stuff onto the carburetor. Oh, and another thing I forgot. Even when you have the spring, make sure that the spring is right on. Oh, I'll just show y'all. This little circle right there, that spring has to set on it. And so I'll get this all on. Alright, so now we got it all on, so now we'll just tighten up our screw. And again, do not over tighten it because you could easily strip the threads. Alright, so just by looking at it, this is how you want it to be. See the levers moving up and down, as you can you can see the needle moving up and down, and that's what you want. Cool. Alright, so now that all this is on, so now we need to take our gasket. It only goes in one way, just like that. Got our gasket, and then the metering diaphragm just goes in just like that. And then now our cover, and then we'll put the screws in and we'll tighten them up. Alright, so I got these screws on hand tight. Now we'll just take the screwdriver to them and make sure you tighten these screws up evenly. Do a crisscross pattern. So like do this one, that one, and then do this one, and then that one, and then I'll kind of tighten them up one more time. It's best to do it evenly this way, just so that way it goes on nice and even, just to prevent any fuel leaks or air leaks. Okay, so now for on this other side of the carburetor, so we need to put our little filter screen in. So this is it right here. So this is the brand new one. We'll just insert it in just like that, and then take a 1/4 inch drill bit, just push it right in. This is the best way to put them in, just like that. That's how you want them in. And then now we'll get the diaphragms and gaskets on this side. Alright, so here's our brand new pump cover piece. So the best thing to do on this is put the gaskets and diaphragms on from this end. Much better that way. So we'll start out with the gasket. The gasket always goes on first. And then finally the pump diaphragm just goes in just like that. I just gotta try and get them all on here just like that. It's kind of taken a little while, but this is how you want it. Then now, here comes the trick, just by getting it on the carburetor. So you want it, it's best to try and hold on to it just like this. Then we'll just take kind of want to open the throttle up a little bit, and crap, hang on a second. Alright, so now got her in now. So now let's get our screw. Just insert that screw And this screw you could use either a Phillips screwdriver or a flathead. In this case I'm using the flathead because I don't feel like changing out the Phillips bit. And get that screw fairly tight, but again, don't over tighten it because you could easily strip the threads. Alright, and voila, our carburetor is been rebuilt. So now let's put it back on the blower and we'll see if it'll start.